Since the Biden administration took office 1.5 years ago, China and the U.S. have maintained high-level communication, especially via phone calls and virtual meetings between the two heads of state. China has also repeatedly expressed its hope of bringing bilateral relations back on rational and normal track as soon as possible. However, there has been little improvement as China-U.S. ties have continued to stagnate or even worsen. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken once again elaborated on the country's policy toward China, calling China the most serious long-term challenge to the international order. This is not conducive to the development of bilateral relations. As far as I'm concerned, in order to steer China-U.S. relations back on track, the following aspects are of paramount importance. First, the U.S. should follow what it preaches and put into practice its commitments. The Biden administration has made a series of commitments regarding China-U.S. relations, some of which Blinken reiterated in his speech on China policy. For example, the U.S. claimed that it is not looking for conflict or a new Cold War, and that it does not seek to block China from its role as a major power, or to stop China from growing their economy. Unfortunately, the Biden administration's practice ran counter to its commitments. As the Chinese saying goes, a promise is worth 1,000 ounces of gold, which means that keeping promises speaks volumes about a person's character. The same is true for nations. We hope that the Biden administration can take concrete actions to honor its commitments. Second, more efforts are needed to strengthen functional communication, exchange, engagement, and cooperation between the two sides. China-U.S. relations involve various aspects such as politics, economy, military, culture, education, and people-to-people exchanges. Blinken's speech also mentions certain fields where the two sides share common interests, such as tackling climate change and reviving the global economy. The two countries have maintained regular contact in responding to climate change and issued a joint statement last year in Glasgow. Xie Zhenhua, China's Special Envoy for Climate Change, and John Kerry, U.S. Special Presidential Envoy for Climate, recently attended a session together at the World Economic Forum in Davos. We need to keep up the momentum and make such engagement an example for bilateral cooperation in other fields. Third, the One China principle is the political foundation of the relationship between China and the U.S. This has never changed since the two sides normalized relations in the 1970s. Blinken also reiterated in his speech that the U.S. remains committed to their One China policy. However, Taiwan's Democratic Progressive Party Authority is seeking gradual independence, and forces in Washington have attempted to play the Taiwan card to stifle China's rise. Instead of preventing the DPP authorities' attempt to seek Taiwan independence, these forces even encourage such behavior by passing a Taiwan-related bill, sending former officials and incumbent congressmen to visit the island, and selling arms to it. China reserved the option of taking all necessary measures to realize national unification, and there is no room for compromise on this question. The United States should not play with fire, otherwise the situation may eventually get out of control. Viewing China as a serious challenge and stifling its growth is not conducive to the development of either the U.S. itself or the whole world. Benign competition, inclusive cooperation, and common development are China's consistent stances and are integral to the development of international relations. Thank you for watching. I'm Xiu Yi in Beijing.